Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So I said I will start at 7:03. We are recording this presentation and we will share it with you in due course. So we will start at 7:03 and we are recording this evening's presentation. So we will start in 1 minute. Okay, so I make it 7:03, so we will start. And I would first of all like to introduce, to say hello, our headmaster, Brian Mandich, this evening.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for being here.
And also joining us from the UK, our Education Director, Arabelle Crook.
Hello everyone, lovely to be here.
Okay, so let us start this evening's presentation. So due to our collaboration with the 350-year-old established and successful Reigate Grammar School, we are able to offer the exciting ALevel pathway. RGS students have the subject information about the IB diploma that they've had in lessons. And next Monday, Miss Gitter will be running the online parent presentation for our IB diploma program. Parents and students will be receiving the subject guides, both for the A-level and DP pathways, over the next few days. But tonight, it's about giving you a flavour of our A-level subjects. So, who should pick A-level? Well, those students that are looking for a concentration in the sciences, technology, engineering, and maths areas may be interested in our first A-level offer. And we start this evening with a short presentation on ALevel Business.
Welcome to a short presentation on ALevel Business. Warning. Many students take business as their third or fourth option. However, by the end of 2 years, it's often their firm favourite, and many will follow through and take it or similar at university. It's quite an addictive subject. Why is it attractive? Well, it's a real world subject. It's totally practical. It is not theoretically based. What you see in the news is what you study. What you buy in the shops, you'll understand what you just bought. You may be able to answer the question, What did they do to get you to buy the product you've got in your hand? I think of it as a course for magpies. People who pick up lots of skills. Geography, history, maths, English, politics, art. Business gives you the ability, the chance, the subject to put them all together in one place. Exam-wise, there's four papers, and by and large, it's practically based. Paper one, that's the most traditional. 4 questions and an essay, only worth 20%. The other 80% are case study, real-world based. Paper two data response questions. And whatever they ask you about, you probably never studied. Everything from tourism in Sweden to vanilla crop in Sri Lanka. But it doesn't matter. Because over the 2 years, you've picked up all the skills you need to tackle any topic they give you. Paper 3, a case study with 5 questions. Again, a case study you've probably never studied before. Something big like sports shoe manufacturing. It gives you the chance to look at a situation and take it to pieces. And question 4, 2 essays based on a single case study. Again, in-depth ability to apply real-world skills. If you've not done IGCSE business, does it matter? Well, it definitely helps in that it'll speed things up because you'll understand some of the basic theory and some of the jargon. But A-level business is designed to allow people who are totally new to the subject to start it. Most successful students, I find, can apply the real world to the textbook. Statistics, you do need to be comfortable to find your way around graphs and charts and handle data. You'll do a lot of percentage work, and indexes is also a skill you will acquire. So there is statistical maths in the subject. I've said practical English. By that, I mean understanding comfortably if you see or read things like the BBC or the CNN. So when somebody talks about the bank rate of interest, you know what they're talking about. Both AS and A-level cover the same 5 topics, but obviously with the full A-level, you go deeper. You probably start with businesses, companies. How do they start? How do they grow? Why do they fail? A second major area is the human side. How do you work with and manage humans in a company? Third is marketing, very popular with students. How do you increase sales? How do you get people to buy your product? 4, that's the physical side of it, moving things around. There's a lot of physical parts to a company. You've got the people, you've got machines, trucks, raw materials, energy, fuel. They've all got to be brought together in one place at one time to make the product you are going to sell. And the 5th area, accounts. Follow the money. Where do you find it? Where can you save it? Where do you invest it? I said it's a practical subject. It is. So when I put this PowerPoint together, I looked at the news, and within 1 hour on the news channel, those 6 topics were discussed. All of them are business. If you understand business, you've got a good chance of understanding what you've just seen on the news. So, business. It's not just for people who want to run a business. It's also for people who want to understand it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. So now we will move to our second short presentation about A-level chemistry.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Richard Crook. I'm here to talk about chemistry as an A-level option at RGS Vietnam. The first thing I want to talk about is why do chemistry A-level in the first place? And I think this breaks down into three main reasons. The first one is interest. This can be from your GCSE. You studied the chemistry at this point and you were really interested in it. You kind of wanted to take it further. Or it can be that you have seen chemistry in real world, real life applications and kind of want to have a look at it in a little bit more detail in that way. The second way of looking at it is that alongside the chemistry that we teach, we also kind of embed four main key skills: the ability to be objective, analytical, methodical, and the ability to kind of problem solve is really embedded within that chemistry A-level course. And it's another kind of facet to studying the subject at A-level. And that kind of then brings us on to the third reason, which is, in my opinion, kind of the weakest reason to study the subject, but it is very much loved by universities for degree courses, partly because of the key skills that we just mentioned, but part of because it's seen as a bridging subject across various different kind of disciplines. So for things like medicine and dentistry, chemistry is almost a compulsory A-level, whereas for other things like forensic science, engineering, and the list is endless, accountancy, law, most degree courses will sit there and go, oh, chemistry A-level, that's a real kind of positive thing that the child has taken and is a real kind of boost to their overall university application. We were talking about the kind of the GCSE and the progress from GCSE. This is absolutely true going through to the A-level. So most of the topics that they will study at A-level are ones that they have already seen at GCSE. So this kind of comes back to that previous slide about talking about interest in the subject. It's not going to be a case of they studied certain things at GCSE and A-level is totally different. A-level is the same topics, it's just taken to a much, much greater depth and understanding. So, for example, we put there atomic structure, moles, bonding. These are topics that you will be absolutely familiar with, at least the name of the topic, in terms of your GCSE studying. So it's not as if it's kind of something completely and utterly new. It's revisiting these topics, but obviously in a huge amount more kind of detail and trying to improve understanding of these topics and how they kind of interlink in particular, rather than kind of seeing them as standalone topics. The second year of A-level does bring in some things that they won't have seen at GCSE, but it tends to kind of build on the stuff that they saw in the first year of A-level. So it's not a case of kind of that anything is particularly new. They have seen all of the ideas before, it's just now in a lot more detail. In terms of the exam structure, we're going to do Cambridge International A-level as a syllabus, which means that over the course they will sit 5 papers. 4 of those are going to be normal exam style papers, paper 1, 2, 4, and 5. Some are paper 1's multiple choice, paper 2 and 4 are kind of longer answers, whereas paper 5 is then looking at their ability to plan and evaluate practical work. The difference then is paper 3, which is a practical exam. So they will come into the classroom, they will carry out different practicals and then try and draw conclusions from what they've done. In terms of what they need for being able to study it, we're asking that they do literally a minimum of a grade B at IGCSE, obviously preferably more. And also we will be providing them with a summer workbook to complete. This is mainly because the jump between IGCSE and A-level can be quite large. So what we'll try and do is we'll try and minimize that jump as much as possible and provide them this summer workbook that kind of hopefully bridges the gap between GCSE and A-level so that we can start the A-level course in the best possible sense. Thank you very much.
That was our Cambridge International Coordinator, Richard Croak, who will be joining us next year to lead on the Cambridge International Programme. We now move to a presentation about A-level mathematics and further mathematics.
Hi everyone, I'm Arabella Crook. I'm here today to talk to you about the Maths and Further Maths A-level programme that we are offering at RGS Vietnam. So why should you study maths? Well, obviously as a mathematician, I think maths is fascinating and I think it has a huge amount to offer. Not only will you develop lots of different skills and techniques, know how to apply them in a lot of different scenarios, it also helps support you in your other subjects, fundamental for any study of science, if you're studying in business, really gives you a whole set of transferable skills. Helps set you up really well for university, whether you want to study a maths degree, which I highly recommend, but also an engineering degree, business, chemistry, physics, medicine, all really well supported by a maths or further maths A-level. It's really well respected by employers. So when you're going out into the business world and you've developed your skills in analysis, critical thinking, you become really skilled problem solvers. It's always very well respected by employers. And also when you're going on to university and beyond and doing masters, everyone knows that you've learned really important skills by studying a maths or further maths A-level. So for Maths A-level and for Further Maths A-level, we will be studying the Cambridge International Exam Board. This means that we've got the Maths A-level, you've got 4 papers, 2 pure maths papers. So pure maths, think of more algebra, we'll be introduced to differentiation and integration, so calculus, real fundamentals of the course. And also you'll be doing mechanics, so forces on objects, and statistics, so analysing data, seeing how it can be misconstrued. Those will be what the main aspects will be. In terms of differences between that and doing the IB, doing the International Baccalaureate Diploma, the maths for that, then you'll have a greater emphasis on statistics and you won't do any of the mechanics. Whereas in the A-level, you do a mixture of mechanics and statistics, as well as the pure maths. So it depends what really suits your interest level. All the exams we'll do at the end of the 2-year course for the A-level. For the further maths, well, this is taking it even a step further than you do in the maths A-level. It's a really good program to do if you're thinking about obviously studying maths at university, but also physics and engineering, particularly the top universities, engineering such as Imperial in London or Cambridge, Oxford. They would all expect you to be doing further maths if you're applying to their engineering course. Further maths also is a really good support for doing some business and economics courses that you might do at one of the very top universities as well. It's not a prerequisite, but if you love your maths, then I would highly recommend it. It's also an option to start with the further maths course, and we'll be offering it as an AS, so you can start with the further maths A-level, and then you can do the AS, which is like a half course of it, with half university points in further maths, should you wish to, but you wouldn't need to make that decision until the end of your first year of the A-level course. For the further maths, it's really top end maths, really gets you thinking, really gets you to the fundamentals of maths, thinking about the proof of different theorems, looking at some matrices, which is really fun, so you can model the equations and solve them in a big matrix. So it takes you all on a really exciting path through the different elements of maths. For the further maths, you would have 4 exams, 2 in further pure maths, and then you've got further mechanics and further statistics. So if you want to study maths, what do you need? What would I recommend that you have? So I would say a minimum of grade A at GCSE. Ideally working at an A-star level, but a minimum of grade A. Also, the additional maths course, if your school offers it, is brilliant. If you've got the opportunity, then a B in that would be great. And then you'll have a summer workbook to complete before you start the course. The summer workbook will focus on all the material from your IGCSE that will be needed for your A-level. And again, as I was saying earlier, a lot of that key skills that are needed are algebra based. Algebra is the real core fundamentals of your A-level course. So you really need to be hot on your algebra and love algebra and study maths at A-level. For the further maths, that will be taken as a fourth A-level. So you would do your A-level maths and then you do A-level further maths in addition to that. So you can't do it without the A-level maths, you have to do them both together. As it's at that even higher standard, we say the minimum of a grade A star at IGCSE with an A in additional maths. You also have a summer workbook to complete for this one. And it's, yeah, as I was saying, 4 A-levels when needed if you're doing that. That's partly to make sure you've got breadth of subjects. So you'll be doing maths, further maths, and then either 2 from physics, chemistry, or business would be your options for that. And for technology, so we don't actually require a graphics calculator for the A-level course, which we do require a graphics calculator for the IB. Graphics calculators are really useful, so you can have one if you want, because they have to draw your graphs out, which can be very handy. But what we do recommend is this Casio class quiz, which has all the functionality you need. If you want to get a graphics calculator in addition to this, you're very welcome to, but this really helps you with all the statistical calculations that you need to do. So that's, and they're easy to get hold of. If you've got any further questions, then please do ask after this video. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Maths course, I think, gives you a really good set of skills. It'll be really useful for setting you up for your A-levels and your other subjects and in itself, and for university and beyond. Many thanks for listening.
That was our maths presentation. We're very fortunate that Miss Arabella will be supporting, she won't be teaching, but will be supporting the maths department as they introduce the maths and further maths program. And Mr. Richard will be supporting the science department as they introduce their science A-levels as well. That takes us now to our final subject presentation. Here is the subject presentation for A-level physics.
Hello, and welcome to your A-level options information evening regarding the subject of physics. So, why would you want to study physics A-level? Well, there are a variety of reasons as to why this is a great subject to take forward. You develop a set of transferable skills, including handling data, practical problem solving, and applying the scientific method, all of which are really important when it comes to looking towards your future careers. This also provides an excellent preparation for a wide range of university courses, classically physics and engineering, but also maths, chemistry, and medicine, and a wide variety of other courses as well, because of the skills that you gain by studying this as a subject. This also develops your key employability skills as well, because we tend to develop students who have really high levels of precision, really are keen to look at areas of inquiry, and who also show a lot of initiative and inventiveness as well. There's actually quite a lot of creativity that comes into the subject, especially when we look at practical work. And so all of these skills, both the mathematical skills you gain and this creativity side as well, lead to such a versatile qualification that is very well respected by employers and higher education establishments alike. So by studying physics A-level, you have a wide range of skills that you can take forward into your future careers. When we're looking specifically at the exam board that you will be studying is the Cambridge International Exam Board, and the way that this is assessed is through 5 written papers. So you can see that there are a variety of different papers and they are all assessing slightly different things. So you have a multiple choice paper as paper 1, then a couple of A-level structured papers. Paper 2 is based on the first year's content that you cover, and paper 4 again is structured questions similarly, but on the A-level content. So that covers the whole 2 years worth of content. You also have an advanced practical skills paper and a planning, analysis and evaluation paper. And these are more practical based, looking at actually the skills that you gain from doing practical work. And paper 5 is, well, can you plan an experiment yourself? And can you analyze and can you evaluate it to a high level? And you can see how the percentages of these papers all sum together to give you a really high quality A-level based in not only mathematics and physical concepts, but also in the practical work as well, which is essential for any kind of research-based career or any kind of lab work that you might do either at university or in your future jobs. In order to access this program, we're really looking for a minimum of grade B at IGCSE because the concepts that are studied are not terribly simple. And so by having that really strong foundation in your GCSE, it enables us to build from there. And by having this strong foundation, we can really run and excel going forward. There's also a summer workbook that you'll be given that needs to be completed prior to starting the course. And this will just enable us to see exactly where your strengths and weaknesses are and any areas that we might need to address before the course begins, and also gives you the time over the summer to really consolidate any knowledge that you feel you might need to improve upon before we begin the course at the start of the year. So there are a lot of different topics that we cover during this 2-year course. And you can see the AS level ones listed for now on the PowerPoint. So what we've got are a really wide range of topics that you would expect to cover at any classical physics qualification, ranging from electricity and forces, all the way through to looking at waves and some slightly more tricky concepts like superposition as well. We also touch at this level on materials, looking at deformation of solids and how different materials interact with one another and what ones might be of more benefit for certain structures. We also, as well, at this level, touch upon particle physics, which you potentially might not have covered much, and it might feel quite chemistry-based, in fact, but it's really nice to be able to look at the crossover between the different sciences and to have a look at some of the new and interesting concepts that we have got in sort of science today. So looking at sort of more of the current research around particle physics as well, looking at some of the experiments that you might even be seeing at CERN. At A-level, we go even further and look at even more topics, focusing again on some quite classical physics, but then also some more new and exciting physics as well. So looking at motion in a circle, gravitational fields, other fields such as magnetic fields, electric fields as well. But then moving on to some more of your applied physics, such as your quantum physics, your nuclear physics, and your medical physics as well. Also look at astronomy and cosmology, which obviously is a huge part of physics and a big part of the research that is out there, if that is something that interests you as well. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any further questions, someone will be on hand to answer them. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, so we have now heard from the A-level subjects, but also at A-level, students will study the enrichment part of the curriculum, which we call the Henry Smith Enrichment. Henry Smith is the founder of Reigate, and we promote students' well-roundedness in his name. Extracurricular and co-curricular is an important part of the well-rounded Reigation sixth form student. In and off campus, students should be developing this. It may be a creative activity, sport-related, or even volunteering. University counselling is to guide students and families in the post-18 opportunities. Our timetabled university counselling sessions and our department will support students in finding the best universities for their needs all over the globe. Personal, social, and health education is learning through which students acquire the knowledge, the understanding, and the skills that they need to manage their lives, both now and in the future. The international project qualification. Many A-level students will choose to complement their A-level subject studies in researching one of their passions. A 5,000-word investigation awarded by Cambridge is how they'll do that. Past students at RGS have looked at such topics as renewable energy in Australia, wealth inequality, and statistics in business. And finally, in developing our students, we look at their leadership. Prefect, house captain, student council, Model United Nations are just a few of the leadership opportunities available to our RGSV sixth formers. Many will take on leadership responsibilities both inside and outside the school. We encourage this and we want them to develop this. So finally, how does the A-level work? Well, as we have at RGSV, we ensure that students are in a specific tutor group with a specialized A-level form tutor. We continue with our small class sizes and the pedagogy that we will use for our A-level, just as we will be using across the school, will be developed under the high performance learning framework. There are 35 teaching periods in a week. Each period is 50 minutes. And each A-level will have 8 periods a week. We expect most students to pick 3 A-levels. And the 4th is for those that also wish to do the further maths. So there you have it, a flavour of our A-level programme.